We're helping both the Johnson Hall down in Gardner and the Colonial Theater here in Augusta. Both of those are theaters that we're trying to get back to restored to their glory days. And the arts are vitally important for all of us here in the community, for economic development. It's an important piece to the next level of success for Central Maine.
An echo of an echo is the semblance of a sound, and I press and I've waited with my ear upon the ground. Oh lover, I'll see you there, waiting in the willows with your autumn hair. Oh lover, I'll see you there after many miles.
Hi everybody, and welcome to Maine Life and happy fall. Over the summer, the Maine Life crew had the privilege and opportunity to participate in one of the most epic and memorable events of the summer, put on by Maine Coast Heritage Trust. The Maine Coast Heritage Trust community works really hard to create more access to the shore, protect wildlife habitat, and work with the Maine communities to save the places people love. We are now excited to share with you the important work this group is doing to keep the coast Maine.
We are here today for one of the most amazing events that I have ever been to. This is the second year we're doing it. It's the Saltwater Shindig on the Goslings, hosted by the Maine Coast Heritage Trust and the Next Wave Group. The Next Wave Group, we are a group of people 50 and younger that are passionate about the coast of Maine and preserving the coast of Maine and supporting the amazing work that Maine Coast Heritage Trust does.
Next Wave is a group of people that are the next generation of conservators of the Maine coast. We gather here with Eventide and Maine Beer Company and friends and family and celebrate the coast by having this huge lobster bake, clam bake, beer, looking out over the water, and it's an all-day kind of affair, and it's just so special to celebrate together and see the conservation in action.
We are about to set all the tables out on this amazing sand spit. As the tide goes out, there's a sandbar that's created, and we're about to eat lobster, clams, mussels, pork belly, I think. The Eventide crew has so much amazing food. I can't even begin to. I'm salivating already just thinking about it.
And cold beer.
And cold beer, and Maine Beer Co. Like, could you get any better than that? It's incredible. So I grew up in Freeport, and I came out here as a kid. I had a little boat I lobstered out of. I piled all my friends into the boat. We come out here to the islands. We camp all night long. No adults. Super fun times growing up as a kid. I now have a 2-year-old, and I desperately want him to have that experience as he grows up in Maine. I think that's one of the major reasons we live in Maine. And so about 4 or 5 years ago, the Goslings came up for sale. They were actually family friends of mine from growing up that were selling the islands, and that's when I really got involved with Maine Coast Heritage Trust, because I wanted these islands to be preserved for my son and the next generation to be able to use them. We continually want to work to keep these areas open to the public and for people to use them. But that's not the only work we do. We also do work to preserve spots for fishermen to park so they can have access to the water, take some land and make sure it's available for birds for nesting. There's also a program we're doing where on the coast we're actually growing organic food for the community. The kids actually come out and grow organic food for their community and for their use. So it's a really broad-based organization that I'm really, really proud to be a part of.
The Goslings are very special, but I think that part of the reason they're so special is because they can handle a lot of people. There's these beautiful sand beaches that stretch between the two, so you can walk from East Gosling to West Gosling at low tide and really just enjoy the place in a whole bunch of different ways, from the forest to the beach. I think it's important because these places don't just protect themselves. If we don't spend time really thinking about how we can make sure that these places stay the way that they are in the long term, it won't happen. And slowly, these places that we've enjoyed for generations are going to be privatized and made into a place where you can't go and enjoy it, or you can't use it for clamming or fishing. So I think it's really important for younger folks to think, hey, I enjoy this place. Who owns it? Is this going to be around? What can I do to help make sure that this is a place that my family can continue to go?
Maine Coast Heritage Trust is really excited to gather here today and to also have opportunities for people to get involved throughout the entire year. So we welcome people to join us for preservation days, for ocean cleanups on islands. Yeah, there's a lot of opportunities to get involved, which is great for people of all levels of interest and capability.
All my friends are here. The weather's incredible. We couldn't ask for anything more. It's so much fun.
Oh my gosh, really? I love you. You're so cute. You're okay. If nothing else, come to see Fenway, right? Yes.
Here at Certify Inc., I'm a business development rep. We're definitely kind of a work hard, play hard environment. Volunteering, happy hours, all sorts of different events. There's a really good work-life balance, and I really enjoy that. So it's really the best of both worlds. We're 30 minutes from Portland, but we have 6 acres in Brunswick. We spend a lot of time gardening, snowshoeing in the winter around the property. We have chickens. And we spend a lot of time in Brunswick as well. We go to the farmers market, and there's a lot of really great restaurants and businesses downtown. Certify is based here in Portland, Maine. We have a lot of opportunities and a lot of fun, so check us out.
I feel like banking is in my blood. My parents actually met in banking school, and I started my banking career after my freshman year in college. I love living in Maine and working for Kennebec Savings Bank. Kennebec Savings Bank is such a community-oriented institution. And you can't beat living in Maine. The summers are wonderful. Love to go camping with my family, hiking, the coast. Doesn't get any better than that.
And welcome back, everybody. We are now heading to Augusta to see our friend Alyssa Emmons, owner of Charlie's Honda and one of your Maine Honda dealers. Alyssa is not only super nice, fun, and generous, she is part of the 7% of women who own and operate car dealerships in the United States. Your Maine Honda dealers are especially unique because instead of being rivals, they are actually all friends who genuinely like each other and have a great time. But we all know while Alyssa is the only female out of the 6 dealers, she really is the boss. Let's go meet her. Welcome to Charlie's Honda. Hi.
Hi, how are you? Good to see you.
Good to see you too. Oh, hello there.
Say hi to Aaron. I don't want
Do you
that.
want to play? Are you the greeter? Are you the official greeter?
He is.
Oh my gosh, really? I love you. You're so cute. You're okay. If nothing else, come to see Fenway, right? Yes.
We're at Charlie's Honda in Augusta, Maine, and we bought this dealership September 1st of '05, so we just celebrated our 14th anniversary. We've had record month after record month this year. Our new car sales are through the roof. Everything is great. Everything is really great. You know, I've got a great crew. A couple of the guys have been with me since day one, and it's fun. We have a good time. Yes, customer service is really big to us. We want to make sure that people are taken care of when they're in buying a car, and you know, that people know that they can come here and be taken care of.
And you're dog friendly.
Oh, we are so dog friendly. My guys around here somewhere. We love when people bring in dogs and cats. We've had a potbelly pig come in before. We are huge animal people, so yeah, animals are always welcome. You can't beat Honda. It's known for its longevity and for its reliability. And I've got customers that still come in the service department with 200,000, 300,000, 400,000 miles on their vehicles. And I love them. I love the vehicle. We are involved in so many agencies and foundations and charitable events, but we do a lot with the United Way. In that way, we can disperse the money across the entire Kennebec Valley. And the Children's Center has really become a big part of my life. Now that I have my children, my 6, 7, and 9-year-old, I want to make sure that kids have everything they need, and I realize how lucky I am that I have 3 healthy kids, and my kids have every opportunity that they want. But there are kids out there that aren't so lucky. So yeah, we've focused a little bit on the Children's Center lately. And
we're going there today.
Yeah, I'm excited. They have an amazing playground there, all adaptive for handicap accessible, and just some really great things. I think it's a one-of-a-kind playground, so it's fun.
All right, so we get the Odyssey today.
Yes, the 2019 Odyssey, my favorite.
Yeah, I bet when you're a mom of 3,
Yes.
you need as much room as possible.
Anything that helps keep my sanity is much appreciated. Okay, so my favorite feature in this Odyssey is that I have cabin watch.
Oh.
So I can see what they're doing back there. So if one of my kids says, you know, Carson hit me, well, I can see that what they're doing and I can actually zoom in.
Oh, that's so funny.
Yes, yeah.
Say hi to Kevin and Jason back there.
Hi, guys.
So can we see them from the
Yeah,
cam?
absolutely. So once this loads up, which just takes a minute, I hit the home button.
Oh, that's so funny. So your kids know where the camera actually is.
Oh yeah,
right
there's a
there.
little camera right up there.
That's awesome.
And there's actually a cabin talk too. So if you're having difficulty hearing the person back there, there's actually a mic in the back of the car so they can hear you. And if they have their headphones on, you can shut their headphones off and talk to them. So they don't hear what's going on in the movie, they hear what mom and dad are saying. So
Very important.
it's kind of nice.
It's like you're on an airplane.
Yes!
This year I'm working at WEX doing diversity and inclusion under Gimbala and helping the HR team look at how they can improve. I was kind of just taken aback that I had the opportunity to go work in Maine, live in Maine, and really see what the other big companies have to offer. A lot of people just don't get to see what Maine gets to do, and they only see one aspect of either your farming or your fishing or lobstering. So it's cool to be like, hey, there's a ton of cool stuff here. Hi, I'm Marcus. I'm originally from Boston, Massachusetts, and I'm excited to be part of the WEX internship of 2019.
The Maine Life crew hit the road this summer in our all-new Honda CR-V, thanks to our friends, the Maine Honda dealers. Our Honda CR-V is safe, reliable, fun to drive, and has plenty of room for all of our gear and, of course, my bags. Rated the best compact SUV, we love our silver CR-V. So come along for the ride, pack your bags, and enjoy a road trip in our gorgeous state for a little staycation. And be sure to check in with our friends, your Maine Honda dealers. See you next week, somewhere new.
We were the 47th brewery to open in the state of Maine. There are now over 140 craft breweries in Maine. And our grand opening, we had 300 people show up, and it has just grown since then. Every beer that we make, 100% of the base malt is grown and malted in the state of Maine, which we're very proud of.
We have a double IPA that we serve here called Dementia Dog. It's a very well-balanced IPA. We try and brew seasonality. We do a cranberry ale when the cranberries are ready in the bogs. We do a pumpkin ale only when the pumpkins are ready in the field. We grow our own pumpkins here. We grow our own hops.
We moved to Connecticut for my job, and we decided after we'd been there about 3 years if we wanted to start a family that this was where we would want to be. It has really become a community gathering place. It fills us with joy to have people come here and be so happy.
Our factory has a ton of pride. Our employees are very prideful in what they do, from our mechanics to our quality department, and I think that all comes from the history. I think it's amazing that I can have an engineering degree and have an amazing career in the state of Maine, because there was a point I didn't think that was going to be possible. So in 2015, I started a recruiting event with the University of Maine for engineers, getting students, showing them what our company is all about, and then providing them with an opportunity to work through the summers. It's making sure that these kids know that this is a great career and that it's an opportunity for them to not have to leave the state and have tons of growth potential. I love my job. You know, I learn something new every day. I am never bored. I am always doing something, learning something, and I have the flexibility to have such a great home life with my kids, my wife, and being in the state that I love.
Erin and Alyssa, welcome to the Children's Center. We're thrilled to have you here. Right now we're standing on our amazing playground, which the Schumann family is very familiar with. It is one of the most inclusive, adaptive playgrounds in New England. We took a lot of care to make sure that all of our kids could access it. And the reason that's necessary here is because of the very special mission that we serve, which is to help kids in need of early intervention and special education to learn, grow, really reach their potential through specialized programming specific to each child. We have an autism program, and we also have a behavioral support program. So for kiddos with global delays, some mental health diagnoses, other challenges that keep them from developing at the same rate as, say, a typically developing child. We've got a range of resources here for them and for their parents.
Did you say the playground is one of a kind in New England, all of New England?
Yeah, when we were doing the research to design it, we looked all over, we interviewed other places, we talked to playground plan designers. There really wasn't anything that was quite as inclusive and expansive as this playground is, so we're very proud of it. Took a community to get it built. The Schumann family was one of the lead contributors to making this possible.
And did you just knew that this was something?
Yeah, I think once you have kids, it really starts to hit home a little bit more. And my passion was always animals, because I've always been an animal lover. I've always had animals. And then when you have kids, it doesn't steal from the animal passion, but you just realize that there's others that don't have a voice. And you know, you have to be an advocate, and you have to be the voice for the children.
So at the Children's Center, one of the things that makes us unique is that we provide an inclusive experience for some of these kids. We make it very intentional environment to have them be around kids that don't have challenges, that are typically developing, so that they see their peers, and really they talk about, you know, that's where you see the magic happens. You let kids loose on this playground, kids who should not be able to do X, Y, or Z, see their typically developing peers and like, I want to do that. So they're not limited by some of our preconceived notions. They're trying to keep up with their peers, they're having a blast, they're finding a way to surpass what we might see as limitations, which is really pretty wonderful. It not only teaches our typically developing children empathy and tolerance and patience, but it teaches our kids that do have challenges that, you know, they can overcome a lot, and they can be just as involved and as excited about all the things that their peers are as well.
Where does the community come in, like the Schumann family and others?
Sure.
How do they help?
Yeah, so Schumann families, other community supporters provide funding that help us do things that are not just meeting basic needs. You know, we need assistance in doing that as well, but then to add a little bit of quality of life in terms of play. You know, that is work for kids. Like, that's where they do a lot of their growing, their exploring, their learning. So to have a playground like this is a huge resource for us. Donors also help us provide things like speech and occupational therapy without it being, you know, cost being a barrier for families. I think it's a big world, and when you have a child, let alone one that has some really specific needs, it can be pretty overwhelming and pretty scary. So we have staff at the center that is specifically dedicated to helping parents know, you know, if you need X, go here. Yeah, and we can help you find all of those things.
Have a good day! Bye! Bye!
Summertime at DeMillo's is all about the decks on the water, our fresh seafood, and our wonderful cocktails. DeMillo's has something for everyone, from our lounge and bar, decks, to our main dining room. We have Italian fare, healthy options, and as I mentioned before, the fresh seafood that is caught behind me daily. My name is Chelsea DeMillo, and I hope to see you here this summer at DeMillo's on the Water on Casco Bay, and we have free parking.
Hi everybody and welcome back. We are excited here at Maine Life to announce a brand new show launching right here on New Center, Maine every Sunday morning at 11:30 called Places and Spaces. Places and Spaces was a segment on Maine Life and now we are excited that it has grown to its own show celebrating our very talented builders, brokers, architects, and designers throughout the state of Maine. And while here in Augusta, we're going to stop by to say hello to our friends at Kennebec Savings Bank, who is our presenting sponsor for this exciting new show. Here's a look at what you can expect on Places and Spaces.
Hi, I'm Andrew Silsby, President and CEO of Kennebec Savings Bank. We're a true community bank. For nearly 150 years, we've helped people get into their dream homes, build or expand their business, or save and invest their hard-earned dollars, all while giving back to the communities that we serve. We're excited to sponsor this series with Aaron O'Valley, getting to highlight some of Maine's best architects, builders, brokers, and designers across the state of Maine. We hope you enjoy the show. Thanks for watching.
Welcome to Bar Harbor.
It's one of those rooms where every time I walk in is like a new experience. You feel like you've been transported. It's like being on a great vacation. You don't ever want to leave. My inspiration is always at its root Maine and my life in Maine, my heritage, my family, and everything that we do.
How many generation Mainer are you?
17.
So we just heard from my entire family. We're all lucky enough to get to work together every day. We're super close, we have fun together, and you know, it's always a treat for me and my brother and sister to hear stories about when the business first started.
Well, I started it. All my beautiful family took it and ran with it. They did a super job. They're so good. And the folks that work with them, it's a team.
I'm Adam Eldridge. I'm third generation at Eldridge Lumber and Hardware. You are in our York location. We're family owned and operated. You get a lot more better customer service than you would at a big box store. We get on a first name basis with a lot of our customers and a lot of interesting new products that you don't see at those stores. The new hardware store that we're building is going to be 20,000 square feet. So at our Portland yard, you'll be able to get hammers, nails, and all the stuff you need for fixing everything around the house that is not available to a lot of people up in Portland.
I'm going to take you into Stars and Stripes, and in my opinion, this is one of the cooler stories that you're going to hear on one of these successful breweries.
I've been hearing about this place for a while, and I'm so excited to finally go in.
This place did not look like this when you first stepped foot in it.
No, it didn't. This is an old car wash, actually. We thought, well, why don't we open a brewery that we can give back a little bit to veterans and veterans' families any way we can.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
let's give them a try. Cheers, you guys.
All right, cheers.
Cheers.
Congratulations.
So a beautiful neighborhood in Westbrook I did not know about.
I didn't really know about it either, but you told me you wanted a nice house in Westbrook, so I found one.
And talk about landscaping and driveway goals. Are you kidding me? And it's a real fireplace that's on right now?
It is on right now. Full-on paver pool deck.
And a basketball court up there?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you got a half-court basketball court.
I missed that.
Yeah, tree house, and then
Oh my goodness.
sort of little bungalow-esque pool house.
Waterfall.
Why do they want to move? This is awesome.
They want you to have it, Aaron. I think that's why.
And that's a wrap. Thanks so much for watching Maine Life. Don't forget to check out our brand new show, Places and Spaces, starting October 6th, right here on New Center, Maine, on Sunday mornings at 11:30. If you'd like to follow our adventures, you can find all of our content on our website, mainlifemedia.com, and follow me on Instagram at Aaron O'Valley. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next week.
But the shovel, it digs deep, and the calluses grow over, but like a mirror to a mirror.
So cute.
The canes call your name.
Some swag. Whoops. I like it. So it's great. Have they been caught?
Oh yes, oh yes. To the point where they put tape, they found out where the camera is and they'll put tape over the camera. And it's not until I try to see what's going on that I realize it. So,
Oh, that's good.
oh yeah, I've been busted.
So that helps.
Yes, it helps a lot.